Hola guys, Deja Perez back with another edition of What's Poppin', the podcast on 93.9 WKYS. So, today we are joined by, tell everyone your name.
My name is J.R. Sheldon Silvers, nickname J.R., real name Sheldon Silvers. Considered the Prince of Beat Your Feet in Washington, D.C.
Okay, so let's talk about the title. How did you get the title Prince of Beat Your Feet of Washington, D.C.?
Being very vague and very honest, just like the Beat Your Feet Kings, they just formulated a group and they entitled themselves that. I was around since, honestly, since the Kings started as a youngin'. I was like 16, 14 years old, and I was always in the community in the Go-Go's, and because like I've been around that long and was consistently doing it, and it was like really honestly no one with a name that pushed their name out there on YouTube. I was consistent with it. I just like, you know what, I'm not going to claim myself as a prince, even though I was in the group and I actually did performances with them. I was like, I can't claim myself as a king, so I'm going to just say I'm the prince. And
Nice. So for those that are not familiar with Beat Your Feet, can you explain to them like what that is, the culture of it?
Well, as I say in my classes, Beat Your Feet is, it comes, obviously everybody know who's from Washington, D.C. Beat Your Feet came from a genre of music called go-go. From Washington, D.C. is our own sound, and I've learned a lot actually about Beat Your Feet in me teaching, actually like being under legs teaching in Poland, and just going around just hearing different things from different kings. For now, my understanding is that Beat Your Feet came from house dancing from
Really?
yeah, I know, it's a lot of back history to it. The person who created Beat Your Feet was Marvin, nicknamed Slush, from Berry Farms, D.C., and he passed away due to gang violence, and
Oh, wow.
he used to come to the club in D.C. back in the day. Was known from hand dancing, and he would take like those hand dancing moves and little two-step moves, and he like put that to like faster paced go-go bounce beats, and it got mixed, and people was like, they used to call it the slush. That's the slush, and when people tried to make fun of it, so at one point in time, people just doing this like, oh, he beating his feet, so like it kind of got mixed, and it's like the name just kind of jumped on it. But it's a groove, it's a pocket, it's a little bop, whatever people want to call it in hip hop, but to our original music, like it's like how we move to it. Of course, like every style of music like innovates and creates a different movement. So like because like go-go's so raw, of course we gonna have something that's like way different and not gonna be as accepted because go-go's not as accepted around the world.
Do you find that like the Beat Your Feet movement has a hard time? You know, like back in the day, it was like crunk or whatever. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah, whatever. But there are there are dances or things that are kind of popular for moments, but they're kind of based on different areas, right? Do you find that like the Beat Your Feet situation, do you think it's received well, let's say in Atlanta or Texas or something like that? Not really.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Is it because of the background with the go-go music?
Yes, that has a huge tie into it. If you speaking about like now in the last 3 years, yes, a lot of states are more open to it. But for a long period of time, like 7 years ago or even before that, like it wasn't loved because first and foremost, people didn't understand the music. Go-go's like a lot of raw music, a lot of live tracks, so everybody wasn't concerned about going in the studio and mastering certain sounds. So to the public that weren't in the Go-Go's and to the other states that weren't in the Go-Go's and don't really know these songs, aren't so familiar, it just sounds like noise. So of course, like the product of noise, Beat Your Feet, they think that that's just junk as well.
Got it.
And when we start pushing like more master tracks out there, like around the world, people start to get more, you know what I'm saying, fun to it.
Okay. So what are the classes that you teach?
Beat Your Feet classes.
And where can people get these classes?
I've been honestly like I've been teaching more so out of DC than in DC, but I have a Foundation and Grooves class. I named it Foundation and Grooves, but honestly people have been teaching Foundation and Grooves for a while. They just didn't name it that. Like Queen P, Dante, a lot of people that were in the Beat Your Feet Kings, they taught these basic Foundation Grooves classes. I made it a thing, I branded it, and I went around to LA and taught at the main like known studios like Movement Lifestyle, the Dojo, Evolution in LA. I was with Crazy Legs when that video like surfaced in Poland, and I assisted him, and I also like recorded that video that went viral. I went to London, like first time I met you, I was on my way to London. Okay. And I taught in London. So like it's not really like a designated place where I like teach these classes like weekly or nothing, but it is a movement, and like you can catch like when I post a class on my page and stuff.
Okay. And so what can someone experience when they take a class with you?
If you're taking see, there's two different classes. There's a master class and there's a foundations and grooves class.
So obviously, master class means like you have skill, you've done this before. This is not your first rodeo.
Clearly,
that would be my assumption.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the foundation and grooves class.
Okay,
like, what
cool.
can someone expect on the regular degular?
Man, the whole rundown. You're gonna get a whole history lesson. I know I'm young. I'm not gonna put my age out there. I know I'm young, but like I have so much information from being around the OGs, from being around first and foremost, I was in like 4 go-go bands, just like loving the music in general. Like I have so much information to give understanding on why we move the way we move, the timeline of how Beat Your Feet started looking like this to this is because the music changed from socket beat, pocket beat, bounce beat, slow bounce, all that. Like literally, like we sit down for like at least like 25 minutes and go through go-go and just like go through the vibes and the grooves and what influence. Even when certain moves are influenced from gospel go-go, I literally give you a history lesson about why we do what we do, so people don't just think it's just a whole bunch of junk. And then we get up and we do movement. It's foundation and it's grooves. To have that foundation, you have to have that knowledge. So I give people just the connection to the culture in the foundation and grooves classes. So honestly, like people around the world, they actually fall in love with it.
Do you feel like, go-go is synonymous with DC, right? Like they go hand in hand. But it seems like over the last couple years, it's been harder and harder for people to perform go-go live and, that kind of stuff. Do you think that as go-go starts to get a little bit beaten out of the city, for lack of a better way to say it, do you think that's going to affect the Beat Your Feet movement?
I honestly think that already happened. Go-go kind of got
like
beaten
out
of the city a long time ago.
I can't think of a better way to phrase it. You know what I mean? But
honestly, like, no, because we still have those tracks that are golden tracks, that are the tracks that everybody loves. When you hear them in the club, like, you go back down memory lane, and we just haven't utilized those in the right way, and we go off to the next dance trend or the next song, let's do it to hip-hop, whatever, when we haven't utilized stuff that was already golden in our city. So, honestly, it doesn't matter to me, in my opinion, how I've been pushing it. It doesn't matter if, like, go-go goes down this road of not being accepted even in our city, whatever, because like we still have those memories. And if you take, just like people in hip-hop classes, they always take 90s music and they revamp it and they do different choreography. If we take what we already had that made us feel great inside the city and we expose it to the world, like there's nothing that you can really put on that. You can't put a lid on that. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like I'm not even tripping about the lane that go-go's going in, because like I'm not even in the go-go's anymore. I love it, but like it's not the same for me, so I wouldn't, like, I'm not pressed to go out. But
so where do you see yourself in like 5 years, like moving forward with the foundation and things like of your courses? Like where do you see the elevation of your courses?
5 years. 5 years, like you can do a lot in a year. You can accomplish a whole lot in a year. I haven't really thought about my 5-year goal or plan for Beat Your Feet, but as it is progressing, it's something that is like mind-blowing every few months, like with people around the world doing, like people in Poland, London, Russia, like beating their feet and like wanting to know go-go, wanting to come here. So that's just in a year. Honestly, I don't have a plan, but it probably will blow my mind, like what will happen in a year with me. I'm just gonna keep traveling, keep teaching, keep setting this foundation for people to have a heart for go-go first and foremost, and then like learn to beat their feet. Because I think people have been doing it backwards, and that's why they don't respect Beat Your Feet, because people have been taking it like a dance trend, or like this is the next hot move, or like put moves in. Like Beat Your Feet wasn't a move; it was like a whole list of feelings. It's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like going around and like teaching the heart for go-go first and foremost, and then having people move. Like I think that in 5 years, like go-go, like, I'm not saying it's just all on me, it's a community effort, but like go-go is going to be like wanted. It's going to be like,
no, I agree. I mean, I feel like there's like a resurgence of it, and I feel like, people, the great thing about this city is, with regards to go-go music, is the tried and true, like there are generations that were raised on go-go music, you know what I mean? So it's not something, as much as people want to beat it out of the city, it's never going to go away. You know what I mean? Like, so, because it's in the DNA of this city. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the really dope part about it. And, people are really passionate about it. And there are, evolutions of go-go, right? Like, so I'm not originally from here. So when I first got to the Maryland area, I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? But then I learned, you know what I mean? Like, it's a learning process. You know what I mean? I love it. You know what I mean? But there are different types of go-go, you know what I mean? And so it's like you kind of have to expose people to all sorts of different, because upon not being raised here, like sometimes you think, you grow up listening to it, so it's normal for you, right? But for an outsider and for DC to be such a transient city, right, there's a lot of people that are not from here. There are a lot of people that don't know, come here not knowing what go-go is, you know what I'm saying? So, you have to expose them to it and let them appreciate the culture and the history and understand all that go-go has been through, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when you do that, you have a better understanding. Like, I have a very good understanding of what go-go means to the city, you know what I mean? Like, so, and an appreciation for it, you know what I mean? Because I think it's really unique as well. So, all right, so tell everyone how they can get information on you.
You can follow me on Instagram at Silver Shells, SilverShellz. YouTube, same. If you want to just link that to my YouTube, whatever. But like all the content, all the information on my classes, what I've been doing, where I'm traveling to next, how we're impacting is all there. But yeah.
And people can register on your YouTube page, or does that link them to a website?
To like my
for
classes.
Yeah,
like no. If I'm doing a class, it's like pop-up classes. They'll show up. So like if you follow me, I'll post it and just register from the link in the bio for Eventbrite, or I'll be like just at the door. Just bring cash at the door, whatever the case may be. But yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good. Well, good luck. Best of luck to you on that one.